What is poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at Tokyo Revengers Season 3, which has finally come out, and in dub as well. This thing has been out for ages in sub, and it's taken so long to get a dub. Oh my god. Honestly, it's genuinely been annoying me how long this has taken to come out as a dub, because that's all I watch it in. I don't watch it in sub because I struggle with reading, so actually being able to watch this finally after so long, Disney Plus has finally fucking got it in dub, because I do believe Disney Plus overtook this project. Don't know how true that is, but they fucking finally got the dub team back together and got this out, and I am so fucking happy because this season was so fucking good. So, without any further delay, let's do a quick rundown of the story of Season 3, and it does pick up pretty much where we left off in Season 2 at the end of the fight with Tiger, the Christmas showdown. And we have Coco and Inui joining the team, and them getting their shit rocked by these sort of redcoats. I don't know their actual group name. I'm just going to call them the redcoats throughout this entire video. And the redcoats start picking off all the groups part of the Tokyo Manji gang. They take out faction or group 8. They take out group 1, 3, 4, and they all get beat up pretty badly. We then have Takamichi going to the future, getting shot, and also getting Naruto killed in the future, so he is no longer able to go back to the future. Unfortunately, he's now trapped in the past, and he has to fix what has changed. Mikey gets his sister murdered, because the guy with glasses hits her over the head with a baseball bat going on a motorbike, killing her, which sends Mikey into a little bit of a depression pit. We have Takamichi thinking that the guy with glasses is also a time traveler, because he's the one who keeps foiling the future and going after his girlfriend and killing her in the future. So he's constantly thinking, he's a time traveler, we have to find him, we have to catch him, we have to meet up with him, and we have to get him. We then have, all of group number 1 get kidnapped, and the redcoats actually steal Coco for his math knowledge, and Inui is quite upset by this, and Inui makes Takamichi promise to become the leader of the Black Dragon and to get Coco back. So he does, he promises. They try and get Coco back by going to this big war with the redcoats, but obviously Happy, or Smiley, whatever he's called, the leader of the First Division, and Mikey and Draken are all out for the count because they have either been put in hospital or their sister or lover has just been murdered. So it's up to Takamichi to get the Tokyo Manji together and do this raid. They end up going angry, ends up crying, going full X Games mode, taking out the twins and taking out all the other leaders. We have Chifuyu and the other members of the, First Division taking out a couple of the leaders as well. And then we have Takamichi obviously being an absolute legend and staying standing no matter how much he gets the shit kicked out of him. He will stay standing. He's the definition of, I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. He is proper standing there, as strong as day, refusing to back down. Mikey and Draken then show up with his girlfriend. He did tell his girlfriend that he's from the future this season, and she just took it at face value. She then told Draken and Mikey, and then Mikey and Draken believe him also at face value. They have no questions at all. They just completely believe this is fact. Very fucking weird for them to just believe this is fact straight away, but sure, we'll pass it off. Mikey then fights his brother. We get a little bit of backstory about the brother, who turns out to not actually be his brother. His mum just lied, and then Mikey's older brother lied, and he felt abandoned all season, and that he was just being used for his strength, and that everybody uses him, so he's feeling down and lonely. And unfortunately, he does get shot, as well as one of Takamichi's mates also gets shot because of the guy with glasses. The guy with glasses then decides to run away. All the leaders of the redcoats get arrested, and the guy with glasses gets run over by a truck and dies. So you'd think the future is saved, but Takamichi's hands start shaking, and he is scared for what's going to happen in the future. So that does leave it open for Season 4, and that's where the story does end. Honestly, the animation is beautiful, the fighting is incredible. Takemichi again continues to get the shit beaten out of him, and it is starting to get a little bit repetitive. I am going to be honest, with these seasons of Tokyo Revengers, it is starting to follow a pattern. Takemichi is in the past. He learns something that he has to go to tell Naruto about, so he goes to the future. He then comes back from the future into the past, continues to prepare for this big fight. Mikey and Draken aren't able to show up for this fight for whatever reason. They go. Takemichi is able to hold his ground until Mikey shows up, and then they win. That is literally the plot beats of every Tokyo Revengers season. It's starting to get repetitive, it's starting to get boring, and it's starting to upset me with how repetitive it's getting, because it is an anime that I do really like. I really do enjoy this anime. It is just unfortunate that it is following the same plot points and the same plot beats every season, and I hope that next season it doesn't follow these plot points and does subvert my expectations to be a little bit more unique and a little bit more outstanding. We have a lot of flashbacks to Baji and to other characters that have died in the past or have been arrested, and it is cool to see them again, but it is annoying to keep going back to the same flashbacks of Baji, because he does die and he doesn't have a whole lot of screen time. It does keep going back to his death. It is annoying. It is very tiring. Like, yawning. It's boring. It's tiring to keep going back to it, but the fight scenes are cool, and it is inspiring to actually see Takemichi stand and be beaten and taken the shit out of. It does get me gassed, honestly. I genuinely do get excited when watching Tokyo Revengers, and it does make me feel like I could fight and stand up for my friends and be able to take a beating like this. Although I know for a fact that I wouldn't. I'd be down and out in the first fucking punch. But it is very inspiring, it's very inspirational, and everyone says that Takemichi's a terrible main character because all he does is cry, but I think he's got some very strong morals. He does cry a lot, yes, but he gets beaten the shit out of a lot. Of course you're going to cry when you're beaten the shit out of. He's in a lot of pain, so I do understand why he's crying and why he's upset, but he's sick as fuck, and he's honestly a great character. He's not my favorite from the show, don't get me wrong, there is way better characters than Takemichi, but I don't think him crying all the time is a good reason to dislike him as a main character. He still has a lot of other good qualities. He's an incredible, friend, he's an incredible role model, and he is always going to stand up for what he believes in. He's always trying to save the future. He's got a lot of determination. You gotta give him that. Honestly, he has so much determination, so much grit to stay with it and to try and save everybody. He's got a lot of weight on his shoulders, and we do get to explore that a little bit with this season, with his girlfriend telling Mikey and Draken how much he's trying, how much effort he's putting in, how much he feels like he's the only one that can save everybody, and how much he's having to struggle and carry around with him all the time. And I think that's really cool and unique, and it wasn't explored to its fullest potential. I do think there is a little bit more we could have explored about that, with him breaking down a little bit more. I know he cries a lot, but him breaking down, actually opening up to Naruto, and actually being Hinata, was actually quite interesting. It was pretty predictable. I knew that it was Hinata. I knew that it wouldn't be Naruto that he was talking to. It was as obvious as day, but it was still a really interesting way for Hinata to find out and just take what he's saying at face value, which I still think is the most unrealistic part of this anime. Draken, Mikey, and Hinata just accepting that he's a time traveler. I know Chifuyu accepted it pretty quickly, because he sort of realized that there was two sides to Takemichi, two different versions of him. But still, Draken and Mikey didn't really come to that same realization. Chifuyu was hanging around with Takemichi for a very long time, and they were very close, so it's understandable why he realized there was two different sides to him and how realistic it is. But for Draken to do it didn't really make sense. I did also like Angry and Smiley. I thought they were two really good characters, and they got a lot more screen time and got introduced quite well this season. Angry's little outburst was also a very interesting thing to sort of explore and to look into. I thought it was really cool and really interesting, and I hope we do get to see more from them too in the future, because I do really like them. They're both voiced by Bryce Papenbrook, so it did just feel like Eren Yeager shouting all the time, but that's fair. Like, you can't really do much about that. It's his voice, and he's literally in every anime. But he's a good voice actor, so you can't really complain too much about it. Mikey again was an absolute badass. Love to see it. Love to see him. And it's nice to see that, you know, the bad guy didn't win, and that the bad guy's dead. So it's interesting to theorize about, to see where season 4 will go, because obviously Takamichi still has a bad feeling about it, so we know that the story's not over just yet, and someone else might take that guy's place, the guy with the glasses. Maybe it's the chicken hair that we saw before that Draken was fighting. But yeah, I do think Takamichi should have died, or at least passed out. There is no way adrenaline can keep you going for that long when you have a hole in your foot, and when you have been beaten to a bloody pulp that many times. Honestly, it is very much a shock how this guy is still alive, and how he's still, you know, moving and breathing, honestly. It is genuinely insane how much he's done throughout this series and season, and how much he's been able to tank and take. Especially when he was trying to protect Coco and Inui. He took a big fucking beating, and he still came out of it on, well, not on top, they still took Coco, but, you know, it was interesting to see Coco as well develop a little bit of a hatred towards Inui. I think that was an interesting thing, which we didn't get to explore too much, which I'd like to see a little bit more about, because he did say that he just felt like he was being used because of how good he was with money. And again, seeing the backstory where his crush actually died was really interesting as well. I thought that was really, really cool. And just gave some more emotional depth to the characters. This season did feel like a lot of backstories, but it was needed, and definitely gave us a lot more to care about with these characters, and gave them more depth and emotion. So I really did like this season, and I am going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend you go check it out for yourself. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and goodbye.